Hey guys, what is up? Today we're talking about some more side order analysis, and specifically, last time we did ships, this time we're going to do the bosses? So there's more than only 3 of them? I'm going to be going over the 3 existing bosses, giving my opinions on them, and then we're going to go into the 3 completely new bosses that I came up with. So, first is the Asynchronous Rondo. So for this boss, personally I have no change. I like its neutral state. It's a good challenge for people because if you have a short range, you have to go through each layer, but long range, you can go for the 3 glowing ones. The boss is a good balance of challenging, and I also really like its design, so I really like the Asynchronous Rondo. Next we have the Pinging Martial, and I like the boss. It's pretty good. The only thing that I really would like to change about it is to give it another attack, because it currently fires whales, spawns enemies, does wave breaker, and other things like these. So I'm like, let's give it another attack, and the one I thought of was making it fire off some version of the Ink Storm, or some type of variation of Ink Storm. And other than that, keep the boss the same. Parallel Cannon. I think we should make use of the whole stage, because whenever I play against Parallel Cannon, I feel that I am always on the offensive, that I'm never on my half of the map, unless I'm playing hackless. If it's a hackless run, things are different. So I have, maybe make it so that they drop with you, and not after you. So that means, like, so you arrive in your cage, you drop, and then they arrive in their cage and drop. If they did it at the same time, that can make it a little more dynamic. And I can also say to add some stuff to the stage itself, like grind rails or lift fans, to make the stage feel more interactive. Because currently it feels like a watered down Octling level, lacking difficulty and also personality. And I feel like additions to the stage, and also maybe making the way that the Parallel Cannon boss moves or something, could also be a nice touch to it. The reason I say it's really simple is because up until recently, I did not know that they got specials. I would always just defeat it so fast, because it's not that hard. But I did a hackless run, and I'm like, oh, these guys get specials, that's actually really fun. I never knew that because it never really happened. And that is all I have for the existing bosses. Next are our 3 new bosses. Moving on to the 3 new bosses, I have the Orca Sonata. This is a boss that kind of acts like Ouroboros, but also like the Flipper Flopper or the fish boss from the first game. I forgot its name. And so, for its neutral state, it rises from the middle of the stage and then floats in a circle around the stage, like Ouroboros. In this state, it has 3 attacks. It has a Stingray type attack. Next, it uses its bones like a missile attack. This could be like the eels from the Fry boss fight in the Splatoon 3 Alterna, or like the fish boss from Splatoon 1, where it would fire its teeth at you and you could blow them up or whatever. The bones will come in like a missile attack, and then once they land, they will then explode. And then I have the 3rd attack. An icon will appear on the ground, making the whale plunge into the ground. So it'll be like kind of like a little ink strike marker type of thing, and then the whale will go from the air straight into the ground like a flipper flopper. If you are hit by this attack, you will go critical. And this also makes it into its next phase. So this is now the aggressive phase. In this state, you will see the top fin above the ground, like the fish boss. There will be 2 attacks for the state. First, the whale will pursue you and the fin will dive down, and then from the ground, the whale will emerge trying to eat you whole like the Moz from Salmon Run. The other attack is that a fin will multiply into 5 or 8 additional fins, depending on where you are, and they will swim at you, causing a buildup of ink behind them, and then go down, and a tsunami of ink will come from behind the fins once they go down. This is kind of one of those get out of its way because you can't really shoot it down. To take down the boss, you can hit it while it floats around the stage, much like Ouroboros, but when it submerges, you can hit its fin to deal damage and maybe end the hostile phase early. because the fin itself has kind of a HP where you can't kill the boss while it's aggressive, but you can do enough damage to make it fly out of the ground to go back to its neutral state. Much like how two of the bosses have the weak point, this one's weak point is the fin when it is doing the Maws attack, because when it is doing the Tsunami attack, the fins are invincible. Next on the list for our second new boss is Obelisk 7. A tower representing the spikes seen from the first trailer. One of those stands tall in the upper middle of the stage you are on. There's vents along the side, and the top can split or come off. Neutral state. It sits still with its segments slowly rotating, being the top, middle, and the bottom. The bottom will remain stable because it is the base, where the top and middle will rotate in opposing directions. The vents on the side sometimes shoot out burst bombs, and the top acts like a slight sprinkler, or a little sprinkler. You can only damage the top segment where the sprinkler is in this phase. When destroyed, it will go into its offensive state. Transformation to the hostile state, the vents fling open with ink vac effect, sucking any ink from your main sub or special weapon. The phase ends very quickly, and then it will start to rise into the air, effectively floating, acting as a sprinkler, kind of like the tower objective. It has like one of those on the base. In the hostile state, the Obelisk has 3 attacks. Prism Beam, and it is where the top and bottom of the Obelisk shoot a stingray attack going in a circle, with the top shooting a wider circle from left to right and the bottom doing a more narrow circle right to left. The second attack being a fragment attack. The Obelisk splits into 3, being the top, middle, and bottom. During the attack, each segment flies to a random position, and then from each segment, a sniper laser forms to the player, and avoiding them is how you would avoid like an octo sniper, so pretty easy to avoid. They then combine back into one piece. The third attack is a surge attack. The Obelisk will slam into the ground with the base piece first, so it'll be like the base piece will slam into the ground, emitting a wavebreaker shockwave. Then the center piece will slam on top of it, causing an explosion like when you destroy a portal. And the top will slam on, which will cause super jumps to shoot out of the top. So this is kind of like while it's doing the attack, you basically just gotta hide behind a wall, be very fast in avoiding these attacks. To defeat it, during the neutral phase, destroying the sprinkler does damage the Obelisk directly. Not a lot, but during the attack phase, you can destroy the propeller to end the phase early, and it will smash down, doing a wavebreaker shockwave, but also damage it. So kind of like its last attack, but instead of it attacking you, you attack it. When it commits each attack, it is invulnerable, so while it's attacking, you can't attack it, but when it first rises out of the ground, you can shoot the propeller to cause it to fall before it does an attack. After each attack, it will fall back to the ground, and the vents will open, allowing you to shoot into them directly. So you can also just wait out an attack, it will then position itself on the ground, and the vents will fling open, letting you shoot ink into them. The last boss on our list here is the Monochrome Maestro. It is a composer, stands on a grand platform in the center of the stage. The form of the composer I kind of imagine as a grayscaled octoling, but it also could be something completely different or new. How the bosses are like this gelatin, it could be like more of a type of gelatin humanoid, which is something we haven't really seen, besides parallel canon, but that's more just a copy and paste and not a gelatin. In the neutral state, she taps the baton on the music stand, summoning little tides of ink that slightly damage and push around the player. Occasionally, will flick the baton at the player, causing a vertical Splatana slash type attack to go at the player. The shift to the aggressive phase happens when the composer jumps down from her platform, causing a splashdown, and then her baton forms into a Splatana. And that is the signal that the aggressive phase commences. This boss is a little different like the others, because I kind of followed the side order where I did 2 more machine-like bosses than a humanoid boss. So this is our humanoid boss. In the aggressive state, there are 5 attacks. Crescendo Cut starts to spin in place, forming a tornado of ink. The spiral starts to move outward, can be avoided by hiding behind barriers around the map, will be followed by a lunge attack at the player. So this one, to avoid, you just have to hide behind something, which there will be a drop-off and also barriers on the map. We have Rhythm Rift. She does 4 to 8 horizontal slashes, depends on what stage of the boss fight, that home in on the player, can be shot down like the return to sender thing, like how you do with the eels and fries boss fight. You can actually shoot these one down, unlike the whale boss fight. If left alone before hitting the player, they explode. Then we have Forte Lunge. Starts to charge for a charge slash, but the charge is longer than normal, and then does a lunge attack that cuts across the entire stage, leaving behind a reef slider-like trail. If hit, she then super jumps back to her starter point and charges again. So this means if you are hit, not if she's hit, if you are hit, she will super jump back to her point and do it again. The next attack is the Staccato Step. Does a multitude of short dashes in a row with the range of a dually dodge roll and speed of a wiper dash. Is invulnerable during this attack. So this is kind of like that multiple cuts kind of thing. You avoid it, you kind of just run away, but it is a very fast attack, but also a very kind of like short attack. So it's easy to avoid if you're far enough away. Fifth attack here is the Crescendo Finale. The Maestro leaps into the air, and after a brief moment, falls back down, plunging her Splatana into the ground, summoning multiple large waves of ink that slowly fade as they flow out. On the last wave, the Maestro stands still for a moment, vulnerable, before beginning another attack. To defeat her, the Maestro has same HP of Agent 3 from Octo Expansion, and has 3 lives. After each defeat, she will super jump back to her podium, clear the stage of all ink, then take a breath, do a global attack, changing from missiles to whales to bomb rush or homing arpeggio. She will then splash down and begin the duel again. Alright, well, that is all 3 bosses that I think could be a good addition to Side Order, kind of fitting the theme a little bit, as well as going over the 3 existing bosses, giving my thoughts and what I would add to them. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like if you enjoy this type of content, and leave a comment of what you want me to cover next, or if you have any kind of boss ideas you would like to share. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one.